I just brought our 1957 Cessna 182 home from the shop, so I'm going to walk you through kind of our design process on the panel and what we decided to go with. So kind of starting on the left-hand side of the panel, the first thing that we went with was the GI 275s. And we decided to do that to keep kind of the classic six-pack look. This is an old vintage plane and we didn't want to destroy all of its character. We want to keep some of that vintage charm. So especially when the aircraft's off like this, I wanted it to look like your traditional six-pack. But this six-pack is really, really smart. So my top 275 is an attitude indicator. The bottom one is an HSI. And the one here on the right is an EIS. It's an engine monitoring system. And I got brand new size fuel senders. It's extremely accurate, which I've never had accurate fuel readings in this old airplane. So that has been a blessing of itself. And I can even do lean assist, make sure that my engine temperatures are perfect. So this particular 275 has given me so much information I never thought I could have in a 50s airplane. Then as you move to the right, we have this really nice equipment stack. And the first thing you'll probably notice is the Garmin 650 XI. We decided to go with the 650 instead of the 750 because we wanted something with actually a smaller screen. Again, trying to keep this airplane a little bit more vintage. We wanted the smaller screen and it allowed us to have this beautiful stack here. If we grew up to the 750, there wasn't going to be enough room and we'd have to start to move some equipment around. And after flying it, the 650 is plenty big for me. The radio up top is the GMA 345 with Bluetooth. So when you're cruising along, you can listen to music from your phone. Having just a working radio is huge for us. When we put the airplane in the shop, we didn't even have an intercom. Like pilot and co-pilot could not talk to each other, let alone having a crystal clear radio. So that has been huge for us. This is the GNC 255. It's a really nice backup radio and again, something we never had before. So when I'd fly my plane before, if I was talking to approach, I had no way of listening to ATIS on a COM2, for example. So now we can listen in on other frequencies while we're still talking to ATC. The last thing here is probably the most exciting thing of this stack. It's the GFC 500 Autopilot. I never dreamed that our airplane made in the 50s would have an autopilot, and it is so freaking awesome. We even have the blue level button, so if you get disoriented or you just need a moment to think about what you're doing, you can click this blue level button and it's going to hold your heading and your altitude. So that's a really nice safety feature. And this autopilot is super smart. It even flies approaches. I have a go around button now, so if I'm going on a missed approach, I can click that button. It goes to go around mode. I mean, having autopilot in this plane has been a game changer for our long flights. And finally, over here on the right, we decided to put a RAM mount for our iPad. We wanted extra capability if we wanted it there, but it's easy to take out and bring home and flight plan with. We added a charging cord right behind the RAM mount. That way there's no loose cords hanging all over the cockpit. It's still nice and clean, but we have an extra map. And with our FlightStream 510, we can wirelessly send our flight plans from our iPad straight to our 650 and the rest of our system. And we have a GDL52R mounted now, which streams XM radio and weather straight to our iPad. Over here on the left-hand side of the panel, we have the GTX 345 transponder that has ADS-B in and out, which is really helpful because we always have free traffic coming in from ADS-B in traffic and free weather from FISB weather. That's all the main stuff, but then we have some extra little creature comforts, as I call them. So we decided to keep the glove box. It used to be behind the panel here, but I wanted to keep it, didn't have room on the main part. So now I have my glove box here with the vintage Cessna logo. I could not get rid of that. We also have Bose power plugs now. So we have our 6-pin Bose power plug-ins. That way we don't have to keep changing out our batteries all the time. It runs off the aircraft power. But we also have our traditional 2-prong as a backup as well. We have new panel lights. We decided to redo all that, make sure that now we can fly at night, now that it's night and IFR certified. So we just want it to be fully capable. We have a new lighting system. And then you can tell that the panel is all a brand new cut panel back here. So this was done in-house at Gardner Lowe. They do their own cutting, designing, powder coating, and you can even see Mojo got her name up here. So all the little creature comforts of going to a good shop. One last thing that I think is the coolest thing about an airplane now, I mentioned that we didn't have an intercom system before, which meant that there was no headset jacks in the back seat. So we decided to get creative. Again, wanting to keep that vintage appeal, we couldn't get rid of our ashtrays, so we decided to hide the headset jacks in our ashtrays. How cool is that?
Okay.
Popka traffic, Skylane 3802 Delta is taking runway 15 for departure out to the west. Popka.
Popka traffic, Cherokee 95215,
Green.
on the 15, Popka traffic.
Popka traffic, Cessna 2907, Bravo, right down in 15. Airspeed to live. Brakes. Alright, we're pitching for 78. Alright, we're going to slowly get our flaps out. Now we're going to pitch for like about 95 to keep our engine cool because we do not have cow flaps. So we really got to keep the airflow.
Oh yeah.
Everything looks good. Popka traffic, Skylane 02 Delta is on a right cross on 15 and we're going to be departing out over the lake. Popka.
Popka traffic, checking under 5315, short final 15 of Popka. Full.
How's your sound on everything?
How's my what?
Your sound?
Really
Can you
good.
hear me okay?
Yep, really
okay.
good. Really good.
Alright, yeah, see our CHTs are already really high, so we're going to kind of level already. We need some airflow. I'm going to pull back on our power as well to help the cooling. So see the CHTs, we don't want to get those over 400. So see how quickly that can happen if you're not paying attention.
Oh yeah.
And if we didn't have our EIS, we wouldn't even have known that they're that high already. So we're continuing our climb, but now that we're at a safe altitude, I'm just going to pull the power back to help on that temperature management. And look at it going down already.
There we go.
Any initial questions?
There's so many questions, but I don't know. Traffic right there, 11 o'clock.
Got it.
Popka traffic, 5710 uniform, taking active runway 15.
Less than 1 mile.
Popka traffic.
We're going to aim for his tail.
Ah, this thing worked pretty good there. I caught it before you, Garmin traffic. 15, traffic.
Keep watching him. Popka traffic, Cessna 3907, Romeo, final 15, Popka.
He turned again.
I'm going to get above this little cloud layer. Because I want to get up a little where it's a little cooler.
500 feet a minute.
Winter Haven, Cessna 1.
It's Florida.
It's a nice gentle climb out to keep our CHTs low right here. 362, that's pretty good in the climb.
Popka traffic, 5710 uniform. Right downwind, Popka traffic.
Popka traffic, Cessna 2907, Romeo, clear of the active Popka. How do you like it?
This is a lot.
Isn't this wicked?
This
okay,
is
we
a
have
lot.
someone 1,000 feet above us, just off to our right.
Popka traffic, 74116.
Of course, they're turning too.
I'll say this is nice.
I need you to help look for them. They're off
No,
our
I
left.
understand.
Oh, I see them. Got him.
Got him.
Big plane.
In the green.
We back in our mojo. Look how
Look at this
sweet
thing.
this is.
Like, look at this. The fact that
Alright.
we could see those traffic on the screen.
So can we act like we're going to Naples?
Yeah.
Do you want to wait for a cruise to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn the autopilot on now. I'm going to sync my heading bug and click heading.
Popka remaining in the pattern.
And then I want it to hold my airspeed, so I'm going to click IAS for indicated airspeed. And then I'm going to put autopilot on. And now I'm hands off. I can see my autopilot tag here, heading autopilot, and it's holding 88 knots. and it's going to go up until 3,000, which is the altitude that I selected. So we have about 250 more feet to go.
Traffic, Cherokee is left base to final, runway 5, Winter Haven.
200 to go, that's what that beep is.
This is pretty cool.
It doesn't suck.
How do we have a 1957 airplane and this equipment is better than the airlines? We don't need a name then now.
Final, active 1.
All right, here's 3,000.
Winter Haven, traffic, Cessna 104.
And here, see it flashing? Now it's capturing. And now it's going to pitch down.
Winter Haven.
Yep, that's just our RPM. So as we level, the prop can spin faster. So we're just going to manage that by pulling it back.
Just looking at all the color.
Crosswind off of 5, departing the pattern to the north-northwest, Winter Haven.
So now it's at 3,000. With our GFC 500, with our plane being so old, we don't have the servo for our pitch trim. But I've noticed it doesn't really need my help. So what that means is that I'm supposed to manually trim whenever it needs my help, and it'll tell me on the 275, it'll say pitch trim, which it just says it wants me to trim it out for it, and because it doesn't have a servo on the trim. But I hardly ever have to use it. It does a really good job without it. I think I've touched it maybe twice on the past 3 flights.
I think we're
And so look, here's the heading bug, so if I want to continue to go around the lake, I'm turning my heading bug left. Here's a 120 heading. And now Autopilot is going to my new heading I selected.
Right to base 15 Apopka. That will be a full stop.
Isn't that amazing?
Full stop.
Yeah. Not even doing anything.
Here's a 120.
Runway 15.
And it's rolling out. Still on our 3,000 feet. How's that?
Yep.
What do you think? This is the first time that you're in our airplane with all the new avionics.
I can't even, there's no words. I mean, look at it. Like, it's perfect. I mean, it still has that old school feel, but look at all the equipment we have.
So what was important to me during this process was that everything was visible and reachable by both seats, because our primary mission is me and you flying together, and we switch off flying all the time, and sometimes not the seats. Like, I'll fly half a leg and then you'll fly half a leg. And so I wanted everything to be reachable and visible from both seats. And also so that we can help each other fly. Like, what's the point of flying with someone if they can't help you out, right? So when you're in the right seat or when I'm in the right seat, you could be tuning in radios where before we had our panel done, the radio was way down on my left knee, down here where the transponder is now, and no one could reach that but the pilot, and I could barely even see it. It was so low on my knee. So when I designed this panel, I just wanted to make sure that both seats could see everything, especially in the case of an emergency. You know, like, the right seat person needs to be able to fly. So everything is visible, everything is reachable, all from both seats. Doesn't matter where you're sitting in the cockpit, you can use the panel. And that was like my biggest intention with everything we did here.
You want to see if you can mess around with that?
With what?
See if we can put Naples in?
Oh. We can go direct, select waypoint,
APF.
K, A, P, F, enter. Activate. We can activate it on
over
here.
there?
Yep, now it's on there. It's on both, so it's telling you where to turn right now. It wants you to make a turn to the south, of course.
Let's do it.
Time the destination, 1 hour and 24 minutes.
Oh, man.
And we're not topped out in a cruise performance right now.
Yeah.
We're just kind of chilling.
Hey, Mom and Dad, 1 hour and 24 minutes.
It's so amazing. Yep.
And we have a 15-knot headwind.
Yep,
Shocker.
you just made that turn, so it's already 1 hour 20, because we were pointing the wrong way. Do you mind if we head back in?
Yep.
Popka traffic, Skylane 3802 tells us about 6 miles to the south. Going to be joining the right downwind 15, Popka. I mean, do you want to land?
Nope.
Okay. was that?
I mean,
How do you feel about that?
it's pretty sweet. This thing is ridiculous.
Like having all this information. I'd say, okay, what's your favorite thing about everything? And then I'll tell you mine. I think you already know what mine is, but.
I mean, I love this.
The 650?
Yeah.
Honestly, I love it, but it's not my favorite thing. My favorite thing is the EIS.
Yeah.
Especially since we do have an older engine, it gives me so much more confidence. And I know where to go.
Just for making sure.
Gosh, peanut gallery over here. I love the EIS the most because, like, it gives you so much information. Like, even the flight from Atlanta to Florida, it was almost a 3-hour flight. I would have never done that without the EIS and my new Citation fuel senders because our engine gauges were so unreliable prior to this, and our fuel gauges, like, did not work. They were legal because it showed you when there was no fuel in it, but that was it. So I would have had to make 1 or 2 fuel stops because I would have not been confident I had enough fuel on board. I just had no idea. So this is a game changer for me. Like, it saved me so much time coming down here to Florida, knowing how much fuel I had on board. It's the silliest thing to be thankful for, but I'm so thankful for that. Just crazy. All this is just crazy. I'm so happy, so grateful. This is amazing.
Yes.
Well, that was a good first flight for you to check it all out. I'm excited to be your teacher again. I'm going to teach you all this stuff, so.
Yeah, there's a lot for me to learn.
Coming soon.
I'm excited.